Hey guys, what's up? This is Sasha for President back with another video. Today we are talking Mrs. Wendy Williams. That's right, she's still a Mrs. despite finally moving on and into another relationship after it's been blasted all over the world that her husband has been, in the words of Miss Evelyn Braxton, laying it low and spreading it wide with his not so secret girlfriend of at least 10 years, Sharina Hudson. Wendy's husband Kevin thought that even though Sharina was once again with child and finally keeping this one, that he could still have his cake and eat it too on Wendy's dime. But as I previously revealed on this channel, Wendy has been proven to be just as cunning as her so-called dangerous and infamous husband. She played sick, manipulated the public, and used her past drug addiction to weasel her way from up under his control, finally gaining some independence and freedom after 21 years of an alleged Ike and Tina-esque relationship. But breaking free was only half the battle, as her husband has been very instrumental in her career on both radio and television. Now, he was allegedly to be granted $10 million of her $60 million net worth, as well as half of the money from the sale of their New Jersey home. However, allegedly, Kevin Hunter has only been given $250,000. That's $9.75 million less than what he allegedly is owed. And on top of that, the New Jersey home is still unsold and has been taken off the market due to lack of buyer interest, despite being priced significantly below value. So legally, Kevin and Wendy still are very much so tied to one another. Wendy recently spoke out on her show saying that all she wanted for Christmas was for her husband to grant her a divorce. A big reason for this is because Wendy also previously revealed that apart from her just wanting to be done with Kevin Sr. and his new baby, she wants to be remarried, and she can't do that with him holding up the divorce. Now, Wendy is a creature of habit, and despite her husband's ways, she seems to really miss her married life, and she says that all of that going out and partying with Black China and shacking up with a random young guy, that just is not her. And she's allegedly pretty serious with this doctor guy, but the two weren't even together for the holidays. And in a new relationship where you're talking about getting remarried, I'm just not buying that this is some kind of great love affair. Perhaps it's a great distraction, but I think that if Kevin and Sharina didn't have the baby, even with all of the affair being public, I believe Wendy would have stayed in that relationship. I really do. And Wendy showed these pictures of herself for the holidays with her family and stuff, but then she revealed after the fact that yes, I was hanging with these people for the holidays, and that's cool and all, but I just want to get back to my show. Meaning, I'm not really as gung-ho about spending time with the rest of my family like that. She really looks at Kevin, despite all of his ways, as her family. Her little Kev, big Kev, like she's very used to that. She said it many times. She is a creature of habit. So anytime that you're just out of a relationship, it's going to be hard like to readjust and get used to doing things differently than you've been accustomed to. But I mean, over 20 years of, having a routine and spending the holidays, this is her first time. I can understand where she probably missed him, probably felt like kind of out of place. Because honestly, during her marriage, she wasn't with her family that much because, of the issues with him. He didn't really want to be around them and vice versa. But she did, see her parents very regularly. So this is very new for her. And Kevin knows this. He knows that Wendy is a creature of habit. And, sometimes, a lot of times, when you are prey and people know your weakness, they like to play on that. And I think that Kevin is still holding on to some sort of hope by prolonging this divorce. He still wants his life with Wendy. That's very obvious. And the money that comes along with it. And in no way is Kevin Hunter a poor or financially strapped man. He's done very well for himself. People just keep looking at it's the Wendy Williams Show, Wendy Williams. They just know that name. But as her manager and a producer on the show, he's done quite well for himself as well. So no, he is not poor or financially strapped. But since news of his scandal broke, he's been purposely getting random parking tickets that aren't even that much money, and all these different violations on the vehicles that they own, to the point where now his license has been suspended. But the thing about that is the cars are Wendy's vehicles as well. So technically, as his wife, she can still be held liable for the damage that he's causing. Now, anybody knows divorces, they can get really, really messy. And it seems like that's exactly what's going on behind the scenes. Wendy has been throwing a lot of shade on her show, but especially when the parties decide to start doing really petty and vindictive stuff, like just purposely getting parking tickets on the vehicles and letting it accumulate just to poke at the other person and prolong the proceedings. I don't know how Kevin Hunter thinks that this is going to work in his favor in the long run. I think he's just doing it to agitate Wendy and just going along with this as long as he can as Mr. Wendy Williams. I wouldn't be surprised if behind the scenes he is still trying to contact Wendy and still trying to work things out with her. I would not be surprised by that at all. And if Wendy does get remarried, like I said, it'll be like a marriage of convenience and just basically somebody to occupy her time and space. Not that she wouldn't care about the person, but I don't think that she's all in love and things like that. I think she still does very much so love her husband, Kevin. And like I said, I think that if Sharina didn't have this baby, I think she would be willing to still work things out. I think that just because she's just so used to married life, she just wants to get remarried just to fill that space. Based on her interviews, it doesn't seem like she's even open to like the love aspect of things. But sometimes when you're not looking for love, or you're not planning on falling in love, you think, I'm just going to get in another relationship to fill that gap. Sometimes that's exactly when you find your soulmate. You never know. But they did not spend the holidays together, and I did find that interesting. And the fact that Wendy admitted in an interview that she was ready to have the holidays over with and get back to her show just proves to me that, it wasn't all peachy keen as it seemed by her photos. People look at photos and say Wendy seemed to really enjoy her time with her family. She's unbothered, without Kevin Hunter. And I think it's the exact opposite. I mean, during the holidays, you're spending time with your family. You finally get to be around your family at large without this man, finally. And your first thought is you just want to get back to your show. That means you're trying to occupy your time with work, and you're not really satisfied being around these people. I think she definitely does miss him and their life together. As crazy as that seems, even though he may have been controlling, even though he may have been abusive, that was her life. And that's that Stockholm syndrome. It's just something that she has become accustomed to. After 21 years of being with someone, it's going to take time for her to readjust and get into her new life, but she has to be open to that. And merely just getting a divorce from him is not gonna cut it. She has to completely be open to a completely new life and not just no longer being married to him. And the beauty of it is Wendy Williams is her birth name, and so she doesn't have to worry about readjusting with a new name or anything like that. She can just pick up with her own name. It'll be even more messier if Williams was his name and she's built this whole brand around his name and will have to like rebuild or readjust, dropping his name and using her maiden name. So luckily for her, that's one less thing that she has to deal with. But let me know, you guys, do you think that this mystery man, this doctor that Wendy's supposed to be with, do you buy that relationship that she's supposed to be so happy with this new guy and they didn't even spend the holidays together? Or do you think that after a particular age, it's not as important that they be together for the holidays? Maybe they have a distant relationship and they're cool with that. But what do you think about Kevin Hunter? Do you think that Kevin Hunter has a good strategy by getting these parking tickets and prolonging this divorce, that he and Wendy could possibly, after all that's been said and done, get back together? Does he actually stand a chance? Or do you think that he should just cut his losses and move on? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.